guys, we are going to go ahead and jump on in. Today is going to be no holds barred. We're holding nothing back. Expectations are at a level 10. So if you're ready to go, you're at the right place. And if you're not, you're going to be turned into overdrive today here on this call, because I want to give it to you full force, because you might be in a situation right now where you've fallen into a slump. You've come into a place where you're having doubts, and I'm here to help remove all doubts, all slump from your progress into landing your next role. Now, does that not mean we're not going to be providing care? Of course not. We're going to be providing care. But are we going to be providing clarity and expectations to land your next role? I have to almost apologize. I'll apologize in advance. I'm sorry, but yes, it is. That is this place here today that you've entered into. And I hope that's what you've showed up for, because that's what's going to be here in abundance. Pretty much how this works, guys, it's pretty simple in terms of the format. Guys, just give a brief intro of what job they're looking for and what their biggest challenge is. And then we open it up to the group for feedback. And that's pretty much it. From there, you get the choice, because we're all adult men here, make up our own decisions on how we want to move our own lives forward with what action steps you want to take moving forward. But that being said, and I know we got a couple guys here, a couple more will be joining. From week to week, you're welcome to show back up with your progress, and I'm going to be asking each of you, how did it go? So let's go ahead and kick it off. Delando, let's start with you. Updates. How's your search going? What's your biggest challenge?
Sure. So I appreciated, of course, the insight I got last week. So my search process, I'm getting interested in the UX researcher as well as manager positions. So I've reached out, done some more networking. I know last week we talked about making sure we have consistent reaching out and having those conversations to have that informational interview style and learning from those individuals, as well as podcasts. That has been very helpful. I've been able to find a few that was insightful for me to understand kind of how to transition into those fields. And some of the lingo, of course, to have that conversation with those individuals once I meet with them. So I've had maybe 3 or 4 recruiting calls. Some has been responsive, some hasn't. So that's maybe been one of the challenges there. Of course, in terms of expanding my network, I've also, this is something I like to learn a little bit later, but I've applied to a position. A recruiter reached out to me and said, hey, let's have a conversation about it, which will be next week. And then afterwards, I received a turn down for the position. Which was the same day. And then the recruiter emailed me again after, say, hey, these times don't work. Let's meet again next week. So it was a little bit of a roller coaster in terms of the alignment there. And the company was Visa. I put in the chat in terms of trying to see if any of the brothers have any connections there, but didn't get anything back at this point. But just trying to prep there and have those conversations. I'm looking to, getting some traction moving forward. So things are progressing overall, and looking to keep doing that.
Okay, biggest challenge before we move on to Eric.
Yeah, so biggest challenge is continue getting that networking, right? And know when to stop that, right? And how to stop gathering information, how to actually make some action steps to make sure I do land that position, right? I know referrals are important, but I haven't gotten to that point just as of yet. So that's kind of where I am, just continual networking.
Love it. Eric, how you doing? Welcome. Where you at in your
Hey,
job?
how's it going, G? How's it going, man? How you doing, Delando?
On all levels. It's been a good morning. I've had a lot of networking calls already. Haven't eaten. I need to eat. I'm on a cut. I'm in my skinny mode right now. I was at about 190, and for me, that's just like the gun show is that way. It's like feeling fantastic. But the issue for me is when I bulk, probably like all of us, I get the gut. I can't stand it. So I'm still trying to figure my situation out, but we're good to go. Eric, welcome to the show, to the program, to the group, to the channel. Where are you at in your job search, and what's your biggest challenge?
All right, first of all, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate all the stuff you're putting together for us, man. I feel like I finally got a outlet to release some of this stress going on. Currently in Atlanta, I'm in a job search for approximately probably about, I said probably about 6 months for real. I'm in a gray space kind of because I'm a career cyber operations guy. And I just went to, well, in 2002, I finished law school. And so I'm trying to pass the bar. So I'm in between the working the legal aspects. And then, of course, my extensive history in cybersecurity is where people are trying to guide me. So I'm kind of stuck in one of those where you got enough experience to do this, but my practical goals doesn't include that. So I'm in a gray area. So I'm just looking to learn what I can learn to kind of differentiate myself and find a job out here.
Orlando, I want you to keep that in mind. Share with him the feedback that we shared with you last time. Not right at this moment, but when we come to some of the group feedback, Eric, no, don't worry at all. You're in the right place. We're going to help you win. Glad to have you here, Quincy. Chad, good to see you guys. Great to see you guys, Quincy. If you're up for it, if you're not, at work and people are around and stuff like that, if you can come off mute, share where you're at, job search wise, and what your biggest challenge is. And if you can't, Chad, we're going to go ahead. Chad, let's go ahead and pivot to you, Quincy. We'll come back to you.
Greetings, gentlemen. Hope everyone is well today. I am a strategic human resource business partner for Paychex, and I am looking for my next adventure. Looking to go into an HR director role, but I also have as well. I just started my consulting business, so I have that on the side. But I plan to build that into being. That's the long-term plan. But in the meantime, looking at director roles to, transition from HR business partner to HR director.
Okay, fantastic. Biggest challenge?
I would say the biggest challenge would be, I think I have the great experience. And I think sometimes that I've been noticing on in LinkedIn posts and just conversation with people that a lot of jobs that I apply for qualified, but you get that rejection email. I think maybe some, they look and they get intimidated, because in human resources, Black men are a minority, and most HR roles, senior HR roles, are run by white females, or you have some white males in role. So I think that could be part of the reason why, hey, they see my qualifications, they see what I'm bringing to the table, so I think that has a part to play with it. And I just think, the job market is just skewed right now. You have a lot of roles that you see there where, you wonder if the that job is even real, because you see that sometimes jobs get reposted one time or two, and then the recruiting process is just broken. Where you'll see where there you're going through 4 and 5 interviews, or you may have to do an assessment, or you may have to do all these steps to even get into it. And I've been in a few interviews where that's one of the first questions I ask is, are they looking internally? Because if you're looking internally, why are you talking to me? It shows to me that you don't value people in your organization. And then I ask, hey, what's the recruiting process? If I'm, and if they're saying, hey, you got to talk to this person, this person, this person, this person. Oh, you got to do assessment, you got to do this. Depending on how that conversation goes, I may just pull myself from the process, because that shows me that you don't know what you're looking for. You're just interviewing people to say, hey, we've interviewed people to to say you've interviewed people. So
Okay. We're going to get to some of these. There's a few different pieces in there, and we're going to do our best to get to all of them. But I'm hearing you got a lot going for you, and so we're going to play on those strengths as well. And for you all who don't know, I think Chad we could throw in the day one bucket. See, Chad was coming to these workshop groups back when I started something called whole nother story called Golden Rhinos. This was back when I had my in-person one-on-one psychotherapy practice in Oakland, and I had these groups, and then Chad would come, and so that was one of the first group gatherings that I had back in the day. And so, Chad, good to see you here. Thank you for giving me another shot. I'm gonna get it right this time. Glad to have you on board. Quincy, are you with us?
Hey fellas, how's it going? Yes, I'm here.
Fantastic, doing fantastic, Quincy. Quincy, please, if you could tell us where you're at in your job search, what's the role you're looking for? What's your biggest challenge in getting it?
Yeah, everything that Chad just said is 100% accurate. I actually work in HR as well. I am currently a talent acquisition partner. My goal right now is to either move up into talent acquisition leadership or to cross over into HR business partner role and start my journey into leadership on that side. I have two master degrees, one in executive health administration and another in HR management. And I've been in the TA field now for about 8 or 9 years. So I have a lot of experience. One of the main issues that I've run into a lot is just uh, always being good enough, but never being given the opportunity. And when I say that is, my last organization that I worked for, I was there for about 3.5 years, and I think I was um, probably considered to either move up or to move over to HRBP role 11 times. But each time the role was given to someone that was less qualified than me, but they were white. And so eventually I ended up, leaving that organization. So kind of going back to my initial point, everything that Chad said is very accurate when it comes to just the hiring process in HR. Very hit or miss, a lot of getting ghosted, a lot of just unprofessionalism, unfortunately, and it kind of goes to show that in the HR field, it's definitely not about what you know, but about who you know. Because a lot of the people that are in those decision making roles, a lot of times don't necessarily have the skills or experience to back being in those roles, but they just know the right people. But that's kind of the wall that I've been running into.
Today is going to be the realest session we've ever had in this job group. I'm super excited to jump in. All right, Quincy, thank you for sharing. I want to get to just a couple of pieces. Fellas, please open up the chat box if you don't mind. We're going to do some I just need some quick information, quick survey. So this is not for me to judge. This is for you to judge, and you have an accurate assessment on it. Are you qualified for the role you're going for? Please drop no maybes, folks, just yeses and nos. We're just gonna get right at it today. Are you qualified? Because if someone puts no, see, we got to stop there first. So please put, okay, so yes, yes, yes. All right, good. Okay, love it. All right. Let's get to applications, right? We're just going to do a baseline assessment. Are you applying? Let's just do how many applications did you put out in the past 30 days? There's no rights and wrongs here. Just how many in the past 30 days? Cold applications. Got 20, at least 20 for Eric. How many applications in the past 30 days? I have a reverse recruiter, easily 400. Okay. 40. Okay. So let's just move forward, but keep those answers coming in. 20 and 30. Perfect. Got it. All right. So the next question is, I talk about becoming a specialist. Now that's optional, of course. You guys make up your own decisions. But if there's one industry that you could work in, what is that top industry that you would want to work in? Please drop it in the chat. Tech, automotive, oil, gas, consumer goods, whatever it is for you, entertainment. Okay, HR, healthcare, so we got healthcare industry, cybersecurity industry. Quincy, when you say human resources, do you mean companies that focus on human resource products? or do you mean more so the role of human resources? Just want to make sure I'm
Yeah, I
helping you.
meant like more so help like human resources within healthcare industry.
Oh, yeah, love it. All right, research, consumer goods, fine, research, consumer goods, finance. Delando, if you were, maybe that's just one thing, consumer goods finance. Is that what you're saying, or is this consumer goods or finance?
Consumer goods or finance.
Okay, if you picked one, which one would it be? If.
Right now, it'd probably be consumer goods with UX.
Okay. And Chad, is there a top one in terms of even just an interest, even just like a passing interest, like that could be good, don't know, we'll see, I'm open. But is there one that kind of jumps out or sticks out? Okay, so we're just going to wait on that one to come in, but let's go ahead and move forward. So it's going to be around IT engineering. Okay, love it. Okay, love it. All right, so we're really going to move forward to one of the most important pieces is, they talk about three ways of getting a job. Number one, cold applications, right? We all know that. You go to monster.com or LinkedIn, you just apply, right? Least effective, but it works. People get jobs like that. Least effective. Then recruiters reaching out to you on LinkedIn, which means your LinkedIn page needs to be optimized. We're going to get into that in just a moment. But the last one is the one I think we could probably get the most from in this group, which is your networking strategy. This means typically reaching out to people in your network, and once you burn through that, to people on LinkedIn you've never met before in your life. Let's talk comfort. Are you guys comfortable? Don't force it, guys. Just check in emotionally. Are you comfortable doing that? Yes or no? Okay, Eric, yes. Are you comfortable cold outreaching to people you never met before, right? And speaking with them? Delano put no. Yes, I do informational interviews. All right, let's start there because we had a no. Eric, let's have you jump off mute if you're open for it. What is the experience like of cold outreaching to people at your ideal company? What's the experience like?
So the funny thing is most people actually like that. People like when you reach out to them. I found that people love to talk about themselves, and especially if they love their job. So it's been actually very welcoming and very like it expands my network. I reached out to a random lawyer and he reached out to like three others and connected them to me. He was like very happy to speak about what he did. I think he was a patent attorney or something like that. And I found it's been very easy. Once you get
Okay.
past the initial, introduction and stuff like that, they're more than willing to talk.
Okay, I want to talk about results, Eric, but let's swing back to you, Quincy. Let's hear from you. iPhone 75. If you could update, well, it's an iPhone. It might be hard to update, but if you can update that to a name, we need to know who you are. We screen heavy here. This is not an anonymous community. This is I can see you, I know you community. But welcome and thank you for being here. I'll give you a couple minutes to update that. Quincy, if you could hop off mute, what's your experience been like reaching out to people cold for conversations?
Yeah, so I actually went through while I was in college a pledge process through a professional business fraternity called Alpha Kappa Psi, where they basically part of the process was to train us on doing just that. Sending follow-up emails, sending those cool emails. So for me, it's kind of a natural practice at this point. So, a lot of times when I'm connecting with somebody on LinkedIn, and I have LinkedIn Premium, so I'm usually sending a message with that connection request, basically saying, hey, I noticed that you're working in this department at this company. I'm explaining who I am and what I'm doing and what my goal is for reaching out to them and hoping that, they respond. Obviously, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it always kind of helps introduce myself. So that's kind of how I have grown my network just on a LinkedIn platform. And then when it comes to in person, I go to a lot of networking events and I think for me, just from a personality standpoint, I have no problem just approaching and just kind of introducing myself and kind of joining in the conversation.
Okay, I love that. Lando is a no on that. Chad, let's hear about your experience briefly. What is your experience like cold outreach?
Typically, when a company that I'm interested in, go on there, I'll look at the people, then I'll put human resources in there, go through there. Typically, if in the job announcement, they have a job announcement out there, typically if the job poster is out there, I may reach out to that person, or I may reach out to someone in the organization that, hey, either that's in human resources or since I'm a veteran, hey, I'll reach out to someone that's a veteran. It's like, hey, see that you work for XYZ company. Hey, I'm interested in learning more about the organization. Would you be willing to share your experience at the company? I don't even ask about the job or anything like this. I want to know about the company and just be able to have a conversation. I don't want to feel like, hey, this guy, I don't know this guy from Adam, reaching out to me asking, but if you break down that wall and kind of make the conversation more about them than about you, the person's going to be more open to share honestly things that they're going through at the with that organization. So that's how I started, and then goes from there. And then eventually I ask, hey, I'm looking at this role, hey, do you know anybody in the department? We go from there as far as establishing rapport and being able to, well, that person can, hey, I'll do a referral for you, or hey, you might want to talk to this person. So that's what I mean when I do informational interviews, just to kind of get some background from someone who's been with the company or in the department that I'm considering working for.
All right, let's jump in on a racial angle because there's going to be a lot of white people that are going to have access to whether you get a job or not, right? We're just going to get right to the point, okay? So they got to say yes. I mean, we might as well get to it. Can we get to it?
Yep.
Let's just get to it, right? Let's just get to it. So, have you had conversations with white people, men, women, you name it, that have been positive? Please come off mute if you had. Quick responses. We're just going to do a quick survey. Have
Yes.
you?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear
Yes.
about an example from everybody that's had one so far. Quick example.
The example I used earlier was the patent lawyer that I reached out to on LinkedIn. He was more than helpful, gave me a call, had almost an hour conversation, and he referred me to other people that I could talk to. It was very, very natural, and he wasn't, I don't think race even thought about it at all. But he's from up north, so that's different.
Okay, let's keep that in the room. Up north, down south, east coast, west coast, etc. There are differences. Chad, let's hear from you briefly, if you don't mind. A positive experience networking with, white man, woman, etc. in the professional context, in the informational interview context.
Reached out to a white female recruiter. We had a very positive conversation, and she ended up referring me, when I applied, to talk with the hiring manager for the particular role that I was looking for.
Okay, got it. Quincy, your experience, please, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, my most recent positive experience was with a white woman. She was partnered with SHRM Atlanta, or the Atlanta chapter for SHRM. And I was basically, I guess, interviewing essentially to be part of the mentorship committee. And, she was very pleasant. She spoke very highly of me. And when I went to the in-person chapter, she actually introduced me to a few people out there. So that was, it was very welcoming because that was my first chapter. So that was a good experience.
Okay. So, we could probably, maybe some rattle off some negative experiences, but right now we're focused on getting a job, which means we need some good experiences, right? That's why I'm having us talk about, hey, this is happening. It's possible. Not as just it's possible, it's happening. So, Delando, in terms of homework, I think some good homework could be 5 cold outreaches. I know you put no, concerned, worried, maybe scared, maybe a ton of things. But what do you think about that homework? 5 cold outreaches from now until next week. That's less than 1 a day in 7 days.
I could get that done.
Okay, fantastic. So we're going to move the ball forward. Please circle back. Tell us how that went for you. Chad, Eric, Quincy, what are your numbers? Let's get to the metrics of cold outreaches from now until next week.
Oh, at least 10.
Okay, Eric is at 10. I'm taking notes. I'll circle back to this next time. Quincy?
Yeah, I can follow with that. 10.
Okay, looks like we're at a 10 minimum, Chad. You want to see a 10 and raise?
Yep, I'll go a dozen. 12.
All right. We're not gonna raise it. We'll just keep it at a dozen. 12. All right, guys. I'm gonna tell you when guys come and talk, because I said I'm not holding back today. When I'm talking to guys one-on-one, I'm telling them to reach out 30 times. 30 times. Here's why, guys. Because they need a job today. Now you may not, but typically the guys I'm talking, they're ready to be employed today. So it's a numbers game. We know that if you reach out to 10, maybe 4 will respond, right? Something in there. And out of those 4, the goal is to get them on the phone. So maybe 1, I don't know, making up numbers, but maybe 1 you get on the phone. So if you reach out to 10, maybe it's a ratio of 1. If you reach out to 30, you might hop on the phone with 3. If you reach out to 70, you might be on the phone with a new person at a new company every single day of the week. Now, guys, you already know this. The name of the game is getting referred in for roles. You're 5 times more likely to get a role if you're referred in. So we're talking about times at bat, right? 70 times. And you only need to hit the ball, a home run once. All right. That's your job. So I want us to keep this in mind in the numbers. The numbers are good, but the numbers are a little low. We got to talk openly. It's a little bit in terms of if you want a job today. Now, if you're open to in a couple of weeks, couple of months, and you're doing a bunch of other things, good strategy. But is there room to ramp this up? We got to say yes. We got to say yes. All right. So I just want to put that out there as well. But action is what gets results, and everyone here is taking action. And Lando, we got you at 5. So we love that as well. All right, let's go for cold applications. And then we're going to get to specifics. And I'm going to take a step back, have you guys take a step forward. Chad, how many apps do you want to put out in the next 7 days? Ballpark.
I'm gonna go cold apps. I'm gonna go in between 20 to 25 cold apps in the next 7 days.
I just have to level set. Is that realistic with your time, your schedule, all your other engagements?
Yes, possible. I mean, if 7 days you're looking at 20, that's like 2, maybe 2.5, 3 a day. So I can definitely manage, to where I can put out do three in a day. Because typically I'll in the morning or afterwards. I'll make it a point, to find time to put in those, to apply for those roles.
Okay, let's hit it. Eric?
I'm gonna go with Chad. I'm gonna go with 2025 too. I haven't been nowhere near that, but I think that's a good challenge for me to get out of my comfort zone anyway.
Realistic. Is it realistic with you got the family, you got the other things, and you got the hobbies and
It's realistic. I've just been lazy. So yes, I'm being real with myself. Yeah.
let's get it, gentlemen. Delando, let's get to you. Quincy, let's have you close us out on this portion. Then I'm going to take a step back and open up the group.
Yeah, I think around the same 15 and 20, I think is realistic. I've also been lazy, but I also have 2 kids under 2, so it's a little bit hectic at some days. So
Okay. So we're locking in. I like this. And Quincy, let's have you close this portion out.
Yeah, so I try to do at least 15 to 20 on my own. As I mentioned in the chat, I hired a reverse recruiter through Fiverr. So basically what they do is they you basically have a consultation with them and discuss kind of what your goals are and what positions you're looking for, and they go out and find those roles for you and apply on your behalf as well. And I basically have somebody doing that for me too. I use Fiverr as my resource for that.
Okay, love it. But you said 15, and you said 15 to 20 on your own?
Yes.
Let's talk through that just briefly. How might that be different than the Fiverr employee?
Well, when it comes to the ones that I do on my own, it's just I'm still looking, but obviously, like if the way the Fiverr employee does it is we keep a running Excel sheet, and so they will approve. They'll put any links or any jobs that fit the criteria of what I'm looking for, and then I approve those roles. And once I have approved them, they'll go ahead and apply. Now, any roles that I find that they have not already put in, then I'll go ahead and if I have the time, I'll go ahead and apply myself, rather than utilizing one of those 50 rows. Because basically, I'm sorry, 100 rows. Because every time I fill the order, it's 100 rows to be applied.
Okay. Okay. Love it. Using the tech, using the supports, this is an excellent thing. Guys, the final piece that I want to ask before we open it up to group support, which is you all supporting you, and I'll just kind of more facilitate, is best in the world positioning. See, we gotta answer this question. Are you positioned in the market as the best in the world? And I don't mean it figuratively. I mean, Michael Jordan, everybody knows you're the best, not just you, family, or just your company. Does everybody know you're the best in the world at what you do? Let's just go to the chat. Yes or no? Simple, simple, simple. Does the world know? Not have you told them, do they know? Okay, we got some no's rolling in. We got 3 no's rolling in. We got 4 no's. Guys, let me ask you all for a moment. What would you need to do? Let's keep it to one thing. We can keep it simple, right? In order for the world, when you go on LinkedIn, they're throwing flowers, there's job opportunities raining down from all kind of places. People are trying to invest in you, all that stuff. What's one thing that you could do in terms of your professional identity, professional brand, to be seen and known as the best in the world in what you do? Let's hop off mute when you're ready, and then we're going to pivot.
So one of the things I'm working towards right now is becoming a top HR voice on LinkedIn. I'm at like 11%, and I think you have to be in like the top 5% to be a top, to be recognized as that. So I'm still working towards it, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Love it. Keep the BEM community in the loop on how we can support you on that. If we need to drop comments or, click some box that you're the best or something, let it keep us in the loop. Good stuff, Quincy. Let's move forward. What's one action step you can do? We're talking about your professional brand, your personal brand, to be seen as the best in the world for what you do.
I got to pass the bar exam. That's number one, I guess, for me right now.
Okay, let's talk through that just briefly. What support, if any, do you need to do that, to achieve that goal?
Mental support, I guess that's about it. Like I said,
What
they only offer.
What would that look like?
I don't know. I think I need like a mentor. Like I said, I think it's so grueling that most people don't want to reach out and help you, but they'll charge you an arm and a leg for it. So I'm not sure what that looks like yet. So let me do some more research on that and I'll get back with you.
What if you spoke to some other brothers who are lawyers, have passed the bar? You have them on speed dial. Anytime feeling low or anything, you could reach out and they're happy to hear from you and spend time to answer your questions. Would that be
That would be
support?
awesome. Yes, that
What
would be awesome. Yeah. Say again?
What region are you in? What regional group?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. I still want to connect you with Sean from Texas. So I'll get you guys connected. But there's got to be some lawyers in Atlanta region. Do you know? Have you asked?
There are, and I've talked to a couple of them, but most of them are either too busy doing their job, and most of them don't really have the requisite time, I guess, to mentor someone right now. And so I've reached out to a couple of them, not too overbearing, but just to see if they have time available. And usually it's a just get with me kind of thing. And then when I reach out to schedule something, it's always busy. So it's just been one of those things. But I haven't been here long either, so I'm not gonna put all the men in Atlanta, all the lawyers in Atlanta on blast.
How long have you been here? How many weeks or months or days?
I've been here going on a year, but I've been in my military capacity doing other stuff lately. So.
Oh, in the BEM community in Atlanta. How long have you been in the community?
Oh, not long, probably about a month, if that, two,
Well,
maybe.
we only been around for about 3, so that's quite a while.
Yeah.
All right, got it. So I would say, let me connect you with Sean. It's just about
Okay.
the right? It's about landing on the. I would say professional development group. Feel free to reach out there as well. Are there any
Okay.
lawyers willing to provide support? I would send that message to professional development group, job search group. Did you send it to Atlanta as an open comment, just like, hey, I'm looking for this type of support?
No, I have not yet.
Please do that in Atlanta, and I'll
Okay.
connect you with John. He's the regional leader for Dallas. And they got a lot of
Okay.
lawyers over there in the Texas group, so he can
Okay.
connect you with. Don't worry, we'll get you. We'll help you find somebody that's a good mentor.
Okay. Thanks.
I can't ignore it. I got a psychotherapy back. I have to ask. I've gone to therapy a lot over the years. I look at it as a positive thing. Is therapy needed now? Formal,
Yes,
not a
I do have a therapist. I do through the VA.
good to go. All right. So let's keep it moving forward. Chad, how about yourself? Best in the world positioning?
I've been recognized by several people that I'm colleagues with, but as far as me, putting myself out there, I
I see
guess
this.
yeah, I mean, I've been recognized by several of my colleagues on LinkedIn for different things that I've done. But for me, I can honestly say that even though HR is a very people orientated industry, I am a big introvert. So
Mm,
I'll,
okay.
so that, yeah, people be surprised at that. I mean, Eric, I'm a veteran as well. I do have my therapist that I go to that's, that helps me try to come, says, hey, you would never know based on my personality, but that I think that holds me back at times to where advertising my things that I do, or just I get more recognition from other people than I do for myself, and then that kind of holds me back at times when I'm to move that ball forward.
Chad, I got a question for you. I got a challenge for you, right? There's no hold barred session today. Yeah. There's more. We could go even deeper, but this is good getting it started. The challenge is, do you have a good professional photo of yourself? Number one. That's not the challenge, but do you have one?
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's the first thing. But the second thing is, would you be open or willing to put a thought leadership piece on LinkedIn? Now, you might be thinking, Simon Sinek, like this long thing. No, we're talking 3 paragraphs, a title, and a final sentence, right? One sentence, paragraph, spaced in between a final sentence on your perspectives on HR leadership, on best practices for HR leadership. What are your thoughts on that?
I can see where that can be impactful. Course is also about analytics as well. What you post, when you post, and the kind of impressions that you get. That's going to drive people to your page to be able to follow up with you on what you've posted. Hey, this guy posted this, sounds interesting, let me check out his page to be able to see what kind of background he has, and be able to send a request, or somebody that's already a connection. Hey, I saw that you posted this. Hey, let's follow up with that. I would like to know more and have a more stimulating conversation with you.
So, in terms of a bit of homework, are you up for, and the answer could be no, totally fine, for a thought leadership post where you talk about best practices for HR leadership, and then put your picture as the attachment? So just like I'm doing that stuff, it's like, a billboard size picture of myself and then whatever I'm talking about, but just your picture, your thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Sounds like a good challenge. Sounds like a good challenge.
Okay. I just want to lock in here and now, right? Is that a yes, I'm going to do it, or a no, I'm not going to do it? I'm not going to shame you for a no.
I think I have to build up to it. I'm not going to say yes right now. I think I have to build myself up to go to do something that
Chad,
that bold.
I think I got you on that one. Can you do that post for the professional development community here in Black Executive Men?
Yeah, I think I could put something together for the professional development group. Yes.
So is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
All right.
It's kind of like
Y'all
a test,
heard?
it's
We
kind
all
of
heard?
like a test market before it goes, public, almost kind of say.
Yeah. Let's just
But
see
my
how it
but
goes. Keep it nice, sweet, to the point. We'll give you feedback. Good stuff. I like it. We're taking action, guys. Delando, let's check in with you. Best in the world at what you do. What's your one action step?
That's a great question. I was thinking about it, especially for someone trying to get into that field. What would be your thought process to get to that point?
I got you. It's going to be the same thing. So you're looking to get into UX.
Mm-hmm.
I would post the three thing. I would post the three biggest updates in UX today, like the three biggest trends or the three things that people need to know about. In the industry you want to be in is which industry?
In consumer goods.
Consumer goods. I would say the top three things people need to know about in terms of UX for consumer goods and post them. 1, 2, 3. And then say something as a final sentence. Add your photo to it, and or add a little, LinkedIn square that just says, some platitude, and then post it. Or don't do any of that. Just have a post and put it out there. One of the reasons, guys, is because recruiters are looking at that too. They're looking at what's your content, what's your posting. And if they see that, they can see, oh, this person is, I see what they think. I see what they know about the field. Whereas your LinkedIn, which kind of serves as your resume, they won't always see that directly. So this is a way to lock in the public perception of you are valuable, you are phenomenal at what you do. If you leave the market to do it on its own, most people's accounts are just silent on LinkedIn. So this is a way to put yourself at the top of the pile. So I would do that or consider doing that. But why don't you do that for the BEM community as well, if you're up for that challenge, which is the top three maybe best practices or innovations. Innovations are almost always good. About UX, if you can nail it down to consumer goods, even better. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I could definitely do that. I'm new to the whole posting thing. Like Chad, I'm introverted. You probably can tell from my standpoint, but that's kind of where I am in terms of trying to get there. So I could do that.
All right, guys. So that's a yes or a no.
Yes.
All right, we're locked in. We got some commitments. I like it. All right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm seeing the connections going in on there. So yeah, guys, please reach out, connect with one another for sure. Once we get to interviewing, which you're going to be starting in professional development group, they're going to be doing some interviewing focused stuff over there. All right, I'm going to take a step back. I want to get group feedback for you all. So let's start at the beginning, but let's go in reverse order. What is your biggest challenge in one sentence in landing a new role? I don't fully remember. So Quincy yeah, guys, feel free to drop your LinkedIn links in there as well, so everybody can get synced up. You can also drop it in the job search group, and we can just click that way. Quincy, I don't remember the full order here, but let's go in reverse. Quincy, if you don't mind sharing, what is your biggest challenge in landing your role in one sentence? And then, guys, if you could come off mute and share, what advice would you give Quincy?
Sorry, I was trying to get off mute. I think for me, the biggest challenge right now is just, uh, I mean, really, it's just getting the opportunity, man. I believe I have the experience and the background, education, the leadership skills. It's just getting the opportunity. I don't really know how else
What,
to.
really quick, I just want to clarify, land the plane. So when you guys say opportunity, if you could please clarify if you mean interviews, offers, or something else. But this is good.
Um, so I've been getting a few interviews. I would say from the volume of applications I'm putting out, I'm not getting as many as I would think I should get. But even when I
That's
am
perfect.
getting those interviews, go ahead.
Yeah, we can work with that. Let's open it
Mhm.
up to the. I'm sorry, Quincy, go ahead.
No, nope, that's good. That was good right there.
All right, fellas. So he said he's not getting as many interviews as he would like to get. Let's open it up, guys. Let's get some feedback.
No positive feedback. I've been getting the same thing. Jobs that I'm very qualified for, or I've done for years, and jobs that I'm overqualified for, I'm still having trouble getting those actual interviews. I get a lot of the automated kickbacks from, you know, the HR systems or whatever. So all I can say is just keep on plowing away. That's what I'm doing. It's like I get way more negative feedback or kickbacks, automated kickbacks, than I do interviews, like times 10. So I feel on that pain point.
Thank you, Eric. Guys, feel free to hop off mute. What can Quincy do? You know, whether it's right or wrong is almost kind of secondary, just from your own quote unquote right or wrong, but just from your own experience, what can he do? What do you think he can do to land a role? Interviews, land more interviews.
I'll just say, I was gonna say, Chad and Quincy, you all already in talent acquisition, HR. You all might already know this, but in terms of reaching out to the hiring manager, you know, once the application is in, if it's a you're really interested in on LinkedIn, maybe something that could be done. It is something I would suggest.
Lando, thank you so much. Chad, any thoughts?
I've seen some success with that. You know, it all depends on that, you know, that particular organization. Um, you know, a lot of times having that weigh in on the front end, you know, whether it be someone that could do a referral or, you know, recruiter that you've made contact with, that way, hey, they can push you past the normal pile of applicants that they get. And that'll help you get past the first stage. I mean, you know, to be able to get, you know, past, you know, the recruiter, really good rapport with the recruiter, you know, and being able to move past in. I mean, it increases your chances if you can get to the hiring manager, but asking the right questions is another part of the puzzle that, you know, that'll help you as well. But to reach out, yeah, I mean, I would say reach out. Will you always get a response? No, you're not gonna always get a response. But, you know, asking the right questions or being connected with the right person helps you out on the, you know, with getting in. You know, but referrals are always gonna get you further than cold calling. You know, yeah, someone that can on your behalf, hey, you know, Delando applied for this role. Hey, I talked to him. Hey, he's got great background. I think we should take a look at him. You know, and that give that, you know, that hiring manager, you know, it all depends on how the company set up as well. Is the hiring manager giving the recruiter, you know, the power to be able to to push those people forward, or is the hiring manager wanting the recruiter or not giving the recruiter the power to look at those resumes, and the hiring manager is doing all the work? So that's when I say it depends on how the company's set up. Depends on how the company's set up. So
Okay, guys, let's go ahead. Quincy, out of all those things, is there anything in addition to the assignments that we've got you down for that you want to take action on? We're focused on action. We're focused on what we can do. We're focusing on stepping into possibility in terms of helping us to achieve new results, even though it's been challenging so far. Quincy, any thoughts on what's been shared or something that's come to your own mind in addition of what you want to take action on?
So I think, you know, all of that, definitely could take all of that into account. I think the main thing at this point is really just, I guess, following up and connecting with more people on LinkedIn. That's really been my main effort right now, but I guess I can do that more often, especially after, like, you know, putting those applications and trying to just connect with the right people. But, you know, one step at a time.
Love it. All right, Lando, let's get to you. One sentence, your challenge with getting a role, then we'll get community feedback.
Yeah, so gain the knowledge and network with the right individuals to get to that interview.
All right, let's hear from the community. Gaining the right knowledge to network with the right folks that can get into the role. Eric, thoughts?
I'd agree 100%. Just putting yourself out there and just getting those right connections and networking.
Love it. Let's get some more voices.
Yeah, I mean, the more you put yourself out there, I mean, they say your network is your net worth. So the more you put yourself out there to have conversations, going to different events. I don't know if you have local in-person events you can go to, being part of groups, getting in part of besides this one, professional networking groups in your industry, going to different conferences if you can go to different conferences. But any way, that you can have a conversation, chamber commerce, going to those type of things, just to be able to network with people who may have small businesses or, volunteer. I mean, volunteer will get you in the door, to where, hey, you're volunteering within that, from those performances that you put on in a volunteer role, that can lead us, hey, I got Delando doing this project for me, they can refer you to someone who maybe get you in a paid position. So those things help as well.
Okay, Quincy.
Yes, hello, I'm here.
Yeah, any feedback for Delando on action steps he can take, or should we move on to Eric next?
I think it was kind of like, yeah, like what everybody else said, it was just kind of really just the connection, just making those connections and and I like what Chad said in regards to the volunteering. That's another thing that I'm starting to realize. It's just kind of getting involved and just even putting myself out there with this group and just meeting the right people. That's probably taking me further right now than putting in an application. So just kind of putting yourself out there.
Love it. Delando, takeaways. Anything additional that was mentioned here that you want to take action on from now until next week?
I think that's pretty much been on the action steps already. So I really appreciate that, fellas.
Good stuff. Guys, we are getting tight on time, so we're going to speed it up to just one sentence challenge and one sentence feedback. Eric, top challenge.
Challenge is just getting out of that gray area, figuring out whether I'm gonna go to the legal side or stay in the cybersecurity arena, and that's just a me thing right there. So that's it.
Absolutely, and there's been a lot of guys who have been in a similar situation in terms of, do they go this way? Do they go this way? Which one is going to be best for them? So let's get one sentence of feedback on how can Eric overcome that, whether it resonates for you or not, Eric. But let's just get that conversation going just briefly here. Folks, hop off mute. One sentence feedback. How can he get out of that? What's a way he could get out of that gray space?
I have more so one question. Is there a way to combine the two where it's in a legal cybersecurity space?
There is, but it's like one of those things where it's like I don't have most employers want bar exam, people that pass the bar, and so without me passing the bar, I'm either stuck on all the way cybersecurity and no legal background. So there's ways, but I just have to find a real small niche. That's all.
Okay.
Good question, though. Thanks, Atlanta.
With cybersecurity, are the certifications?
Yep, CISSP, MCITP, multiple certifications, most years experience, project management professional, all that.
Okay.
Quincy, any thoughts before we pivot here?
That one I'm not too sure on the cybersecurity side. I understand the gray area. I don't want to kind of keep beating the dead horse with the networking piece. But that one I'm not too sure on.
Yeah, and I guess
Thanks,
simply be talking to people from the different industries that you want to go into, having those, as Chad talked about, informational interviews. Just asking them about their company, the industry, what do they think, what are the developments, how's the pay, how's the culture, X, Y, and Z. So you get a better lay of the land for what's happening. because company to company, there are differences. There's going to be differences in how things are going. And that's free, fairly easy to do. Like you said, people are happy to talk about themselves. So that's that piece. And it was not lost on me that you want/need to pass the bar to, it sounds like, really have that option available to you. So that wasn't lost on me. I'm going to connect you with Sean. I don't see you in the job search group. Maybe it just didn't come up for me. Can you just drop a note in there, and then I'll have your
Okay.
contact. I'll connect you with Sean. But
Okay.
then please get out there to the professional development, job search, Atlanta groups as well, that you're looking for mentorship on how to pass the bar. Chad, let's
Sounds
go
good.
ahead. Eric, what was that?
No, I said sounds good. Thanks. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Chad, let's go ahead. And I think we're closing out with you. Are we closing out with you, Chad? Okay, cool. One sentence concern, and then we're going to open it up. One sentence positive feedback.
Interview opportunities.
Okay, Chad's looking for more interview opportunities. Guys, one sentence feedback. What can he do?
Like you said earlier, that thought piece probably will raise a lot of awareness, and a lot of people raise a lot of interest in people bringing you in for an interview.
Delando Quincy. Yep.
Also, I'm not sure, Chad, if you're in any of the local SHRM or NAAHR networks in your area, but that would be good to get involved as well if you're not.
Yep, SHRM locally in AAA HR for Atlanta, and also Black in HR as well.
Oh, okay. You in Atlanta? Okay, yeah, we got to connect, man. I know you in Atlanta too.
Atlanta's awesome, man. Y'all are active. I love it. All right. So anybody else want to share? Delando, did you need to share with Chad before we wrap, or did you share? You need to share?
No, I think we're all good. He's the expert here. I think that's the only thing left to do at this point in terms of the HR piece. So yeah, just become a leader in there with the postings.
Love it. All right, guys. So everybody has some action steps. I've got it down. I'm going to be bringing this up. I want to see you next week. Not a mandate. It's all optional, but I do. And that is that. Sending you a lot of good luck. I'm from California, so we send good vibes. And let's get it, gentlemen. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks, Joe.
You're welcome, Eric.
You appreciate it.
Take care, fellas.
All right.
Fellas.